WCQ is actually really close. In 2 weeks, we are gonna be playing the WCQ qualifiers for Duel Links. So I thought I would do the video that everybody else is doing right now and make a tier list for every deck, cause why not? I actually There are actually a lot of decks here. Credits to the guy who made this tier list. I didn't have to make it on my own. So let's start with Abyss Actors. I don't think they are terrible. I just think that they are a Seal Tombs deck, and even if they Seal Tombs, they are not always gonna win the game next turn, and then they're just getting outgrinded by the deck that is supposed to lose to Seal Tombs, that being Orcast and Speedroid also. Burning Abyss is not like a bad deck, but I'm not sure how I feel about BA currently. Mind Control is insane against it. I don't think it's a good call. I can see somebody playing it like, some random Japanese player who can get a gold icon with every deck. But yeah, that's it. The Block Dragon deck, don't play that deck. It's too inconsistent. It's extremely funny once it pops off, but even if it pops off, it doesn't win the game. Trickstars are a back row deck. I don't think they are the worst deck, but I'm still gonna put it in the bad category. I'm not the biggest fan of Trickstars. They are a needle ceiling deck. They have some things going for them, but at the end I would just pick another back row deck instead of them. The first deck that sees actual play, that being Chronomaly. Chronomaly is the lowest tier 3 and the best rogue deck at the same time, I think. I like Chronomaly. I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. I mean, yes, if you open Barrage Blast plus the mana, then it's insane, but that doesn't always happen. And there are games where you go second, and yeah, you also cannot really play back row hate. I mean, you can open Nebra Disc instead of Rocket and Cosmic, but still, I'm gonna put it at the tier 3 slot. I am not sure if it's gonna stay there though. Salmon Code Talker. It's rogue. It's not terrible, but the deck is extremely weak right now. Losing Crosswipe means that your disruption is extremely predictable, and there are decks that straight up don't care about your firewall bounce or that can play around it easily. DDD is a rogue deck. I think it's better than Abyss Actors, but while it was very good in the beginning, now people have sorta adapted to it being good, and I still feel like it needs a very strong hand to win both going first and second. Dark Magician. Yeah, between rogue and bad. I'm gonna put it on rogue because the skill is broken, but I think it really suffers from mind control being in the format. If you mind control the fusion, guess what? You draw a card also. That's crazy. Cosmo. Yeah, Dingirsu is a card. Don't play this deck. Metal Foes are a rogue deck, and I think they're better than all of the rogue decks I've said right now. That's like the place Metal Foes always is. They don't really care about Dingirsu's protection. Cosmic Cyclone being in the format kinda hurts them. And Mind Control also is annoying because you have to use the Metal Foes fusion preemptively. I mean, if they open Cosmic plus Mindcon, you lose going first, but that's pretty much what every deck has to face. If they open Cosmic plus Mind Control, like against Chronomaly, you also lose. Oda is Orcast. It's an Orcast deck, so I am gonna put it at the top of one of these, but I think while it's the best Odd Dice variant, I don't think it's a tier 1 worth deck, because while it is good, its end board sorta loses to the same thing. Its end board is not like always the best. The Orcast cards add you the versatility of choosing the Xyz monster you want to summon and then go into your Orcast combo. But you're drawing 2 cards, and these 2 cards, while in a regular Orcast will get you stuff like Mind Control, in No Dice Orcast they may get you nothing. Or because this is a 30 card deck in most cases. I think the deck is good. I think it's better than actual Odice, but that's because it has the Orcast cards in it. Regular Odice is not a bad deck, but it struggles a lot from Cosmic. It also has an abysmal Rocket matchup, and that's how I feel about it. Hero. I am supposing this is the Wounded Hero variant. This deck is bad. It can suck sometimes, but these times aren't enough anymore. Dingirsu is also very annoying against Hero, and Lancia also stopping your Miracle makes you having to top deck every time in both variants. Let me arrange this. I mean, I don't think they're. I think they're somewhere here. Onomat. Onomat is a tier 3 deck. Tier 3 to Rogue. What I said about Chronomaly, I think it's the same for Onomat. Onomat, however, is a bit faster. It may be a bit better. It's a tier 3 deck. You're gonna lose a lot of games that you could do nothing, so I'm not sure how much I suggest this deck. If you are somebody who can play 600 games without an issue and have like a 55% win rate with Onomat, sure, play it. You're gonna do well. Okay, next are the Orcast variants. These are Onomat Orcast, Crystal Beast Orcast, Gandora Orcast. I think these are tier 3 at the moment. Like, they're a tier 3. They are a bit inconsistent. They also struggle with their extra deck space, so you know which deck is gonna love playing against these. Like, let's say you're playing Crystal Beasts and you go second against Rockets. Good job, you lost the duel. Your Galatea is gone. Yeah, have fun. Moving on. There's nothing I have to say about this. This deck is, in my opinion, by far the best deck. I think that you should build Orcast by respecting the mirror more than you respect other decks at this point. I'm a huge advocate for Seal Tombs and Hand Traps. I'm also a fan of Olion because it makes your best starter even better, but you need more cards. Phantom Knights. Yeah, it's somewhere here. I really tested the crap out of Phantom Knights. Your Orcast matchup is very bad. You have so many problems against Orcast because you're gonna get Seal Tombs going second. Going first, Dingirsu is really annoying for Phantom Knights, especially if they're on the back row variant. Also, Lancia turn 3 is annoying because you don't have many plays, and if you haven't drawn into back row, you really can't do much. Requiem is a strong card, but he needs a brick to be facilitated that you cannot shuffle back anymore. I can see you winning games with this deck. I think it can beat all of the other decks. It is a needle deck after all, but for example, it can't beat Odice. Very funny, because it's a needle deck, it has a good Odice matchup. But I don't think it's worth playing. Like, it's a rogue deck. Better play Abyss Actors in all honesty, because it can use Seal Tombs. I mean, is Metal Force though better than PK? I don't know, I think Metal Force is better going second, so probably yeah. Unfortunately. Raid Raptors, somewhere here. I think they're also a rogue deck. Their turn on board is crazy, but Onomat can make the same turn on board, and Onomat, I think, is better. I mean, is it though? I think it's a bit better going second. I would prefer playing Onomat than playing Raid Raptors. I mean, Solda plus Evil's from Nightmare is very good. It's not like a board that loses to Mindcon also, because even if you steal the one, you still have the disruption of the other. So yeah. Resonator. This deck's garbage. I'm just gonna say it right now. If you have tested this deck, you know it's bad. I think it's worse than Trickstar, honestly. Rockets. If there was a tier 1.5 category, I would put it there. I think they are closer to being a tier 2 deck than being a tier 1 deck. I think Orcast is a standalone tier 1, because in theory Orcast, Odd Dice and the Odd Dice Orcast deck and Rocket are the 3 best decks, but it's not a triangle, because Orcast against Rocket is a very back and forth matchup. One deck may win in one game, then the other one may win in the next one. Rockets beats Odd Dice loses to Orcast. So yeah, it's not, Orcast beats both of them, so I wouldn't really say we have a triangle meta. Rocket is a very good deck, and I think it will get tops. However, I don't think it's on the same tier as Orcast. I think it's closer to Odd Dice than it is to Orcast. Rose Dragon. Yeah, Rose Dragon is bad. Don't play Rose Dragon. I mean, I'm just putting this randomly at this point. I haven't really thought if Rose Dragon is better than Cosmo or worse. I'm just gonna put them randomly from this point on. Pure Salad. Don't play it. It doesn't have any searchable form of of defense, and I really tried Salamon Great. I really love the deck. It's not good, unfortunately. And the fact that all of the other back row decks are gonna play Ice Dragon's Prison because it's very good against Rocket, it's very good against Orcast too, then yeah, you're the deck that loses to ITP the most. S-Force. I think S-Force going first is insane, but it struggles from Cosmics, from board wipes. It can help a bit against mind control, but it's like Trap is good against mind control, but still, I think it's good. I think it's a decent deck. I'm not sure if I would play it because going second it's a bit mid, but I am expecting Giorfio to break this deck and go to Worlds with it. Solfaccord. Since we were talking about Giorfio decks, I think it's better than S-Force, and I don't know if it's better than Chronomaly. I think they are somewhere here. It's a good deck, but it breaks. That's its main issue. But it doesn't care about Lancia, it doesn't care about hand traps, it doesn't... I mean, Triff is a bit annoying against it because you cannot kill through Triff. Dingirsu turn 1 can be also annoying, but you can negate it against with Kulia. And that's it. Next deck is Speedroids. And this I think will shock a lot of you, but I think Speedroids are the third best deck at the moment. I think the skill is insane. I think that the main issue we have is the issue all other decks have. They don't have the best Orcast matchup. Also, mind control is insane against this deck. Every board you make loses to mind control if you don't have lands, except from 2 Zeta, but you're not gonna play 2 Zeta. But going second, the deck is very strong. It can play around back row, it can play around monster interruptions as well. It can even kill through Volo plus Roads, which in my eyes is insane for a synchro deck. I think the deck is really good, and people are slowly starting to figuring it out more and more. I just think that when we reach, we're gonna reach a perfect extra deck count for it, because at the moment that's the biggest problem. How many Clear Wings, how many Kite Drakes because of Rockets. But the deck is very good, and I am expecting to see it top. It has the ability to OTK, it has also follow-up tools compared to what people think. They're just not as good as Orcasts though. But Orcast is by far the best deck of the format. Starry Nights. Don't play them. They got support, but yeah, pop a card in the Girsu format. Yay! Hero. The Hero Alliance. It is a good deck because it can play Super Poly, but that's all. It loses to Lancia, it loses to IDP. Even Mind Control is annoying. Even Mind Control can be annoying in sometimes, but if you have Super Poly, you don't really care because, yes, but still, they can steal a monster, they can, and then they normal an Orcast piece. They go into Phoenix, okay, and you use your Super Poly before, they can still play. Synchrons. I think they are rogue, and I'm close to tier 3. I think somebody will break Synchrons. The skill is insane. You don't have to play limit 3 cards with Crystal being your turn 1. The question is what you're gonna do going second. Yes. And also, what about the machines? You can just play Doppel Warrior. You do not care. It's extremely easy to fill the 7 slots. 3 Mind Controls, Cosmics, Books plus Chalices, and Crystal Wing plus Backrow being your turn 1. It's insane, yeah. I mean, it's not insane, it's not as good as Crocodile 2 and Set 2 all the time, but I think there's something there. I think it's unironically busted. The skill is busted, and I think somebody will break it. At the moment it's Rogue, but I will not be expected to see this become a day 1 deck, etc. World Chalice, yeah, this deck is not good, unfortunately. I tried it with Talker Alive. It's not bad, but things need to go well for it in order to work, and I'm not suggesting it at this point. And the old dice deck, the Jianke and Jiangseng build, I think it's rogue. The new skill is giving you more pluses, and I can see why would you prefer this one in a cosmic meta, but I feel like Raging Pendulum plays around other back row better. Like if you get hit by needle with Jianke, you lose. This can like pop a needle with Dragon Pit Magician, for example. Overall, this is my tier list. I am really expecting to see myself getting absolutely bodied by my incorrect predictions, but this is how I feel for the moment. I feel like Orcast is on a tier of its own, and there are 3 other decks that can do well and compete a bit against Orcast. But these are my predictions. Let me know, guys, what are your predictions. Have a nice day, everybody.